And I saw this white thing. I jumped in the, rapids, grabbed this kid, brought him back. I started doing CPR, screaming for help. The kid passed away. And at that time, after kind of really digging deep these last couple months, it's like that's when it started. I never really went to counseling that I can remember. So, you ask if I've lost someone, I think that is the beginning of it. And then since then, I've been through a divorce. I moved a lot as a kid. We moved about every 3 to 4 years. So it was kind of like, you have all these friends and then you lose them and you have to make new friends. So I learned at a young age to kind of just, push things under the rug and move on. And that kind of morphed into, people. And you're spot on with, if you're not in my circle, then you're out kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And I've lost my mother 4 years ago to cancer. 3 weeks after her death, I lost my grandfather. So I've had a lot of loss as of recent. So yeah,
Yeah.
I've experienced loss, brother.
Yeah. I think the situation with Joey, God rest his soul, I think that was extremely traumatic.
Extremely traumatic, and I have never done anything to address that, right? Like my parents counseling, I think I went maybe once or something, but they didn't really back then. I don't even know, if what therapy, what it was clinical back then. All I know is I keep diving deep per the program, and it's been a wonderful experience, by the way. And that came up, and I'm like, well, this has got to, there's something's tied to this,
Yeah.
that has really altered my behavior in a lot of different ways, for a lot of years.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, man. And, when you cut people out of your life and you just move on, what you're really doing is you're protecting yourself from the feeling of grief and loss that accompanies losing any relationship. And protecting yourself from that feeling of grief and loss is something that you learned to do at 10 years old. With the situation with Joey, you never got to move through those 5 stages of grief and loss. And you know what a 10-year-old boy thinks when he's responsible at 10 years old for watching a toddler and that toddler perishes?
I felt a lot of guilt, brother.
Yeah, you felt like it was your fault.
I 100% did.
Yeah,
Um,
and you still do.
and yeah, I do.
Yeah. Even though consciously you know that it's not your fault, subconsciously you feel that it is because that's how the memory was left. That's how that file was stored away. It was stored away with a piece of guilt connected to it in that Rolodex, in that file cabinet. And that thing was closed and locked.